Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video. You join me in the Vauxhall Corsa. This is just like a 1.2, about 100 brake horsepower, and yeah, I thought I'd kind of talk to you a little bit about it, a little bit of something different on the channel as well. And I'll kind of show an overview, a little bit of a walk around, some kind of talking. But yeah, just a quick little review if you're kind of interested in these kind of cars, sort of like the Super Minis, but yeah, in between a really small hatch and then obviously like a Golf like I have. Now this is basically a brand new car. The one thing I want to get straight onto is actually a little bit around price. I talk a lot about kind of potentially quite expensive hatches that you can kind of get around here. Lots of expensive cars kind of around here as well. But you can get these for about £160 a month, no deposit. I mean, that's pretty good, and 10,000 miles a year. It's pretty compelling. Do I think it's slow? It gets up to speed pretty well, manual gearbox. I suppose the only car that I can kind of really compare it to in performance was I drove just a 1.5 TDCi. That kind of feels like it's got obviously a little bit more torque, a little bit more punch. This is obviously just like a zippy, nippy kind of petrol car. Steering wheel, it's electric. You basically get the same kind of sensation if you're familiar with my channel with the Golf R stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like an eco mode. It's that sort of light steering kind of sensation. But it feels very relaxed, pretty spacious as well actually. I think small cars in 2021 are basically big cars from, 10, 15 years ago. That's just the way things are now. Obviously being a new car, this is only 3,000 miles old. Yeah, you know what, it feels really, really good. And I guess what I kind of want to get across on this channel, if you're looking for this kind of car, I would always go sort of like Ford Fiesta, like the Mark 8. Looks really, really good. I had a Mark 7 for so long as well. But in 2021, all cars are at such a high level, just from legislation and just everything. You're better off looking around for the best kind of price in general. For just like a little nippy car, even like a first car, I don't know what more you could want. Like, it's quiet, it's refined, it doesn't particularly feel cheap at all in here. It's got some really nice dials, the screen looks good, the wheel feels good. You feel like you're in like a quality kind of item, and I think you'll have a bigger smile on your face with the kind of the money that you're saving. That's kind of where I'm kind of at. Now we've got some slightly faster roads kind of coming up, so it'll just be interesting to see how the car kind of gets on. But something like a little bit of an alternative, I guess. I know it's not like the fastest car in the world. It seemed like Vauxhall kind of gave up a little bit on the VXR on the Corsa. I mean, someone can comment if I'm wrong on that. But they did the Corsa in the VXR form for quite a few years. Don't know if it's in this latest model. I think things are getting phased out now, these types of cars. Comfort wise, I'm going over some pretty bumpy kind of roads, and it feels absolutely fine. It feels really, really refined. And coming from a Golf owner, from a Mark 7 Golf owner, I would be able to tell you if I'm hearing more wind noise. I would be able to tell you if there's like anything really bad, like nothing's rattling in here. Got the GoPros up, they're not exactly even making any noise either, so it's a nice place to be. So I can recommend. On the actual spec of this car, you get nice 17-inch alloys, you get the Michelin Primacy tyres as well, so decent but fun rubber, not super load of grip. I'll be honest, the car, it's kind of like when you're on like a bumpier road, it kind of does follow camber a little bit, and because it's quite a light car, it's not too much over a ton, it'll kind of pull you a little bit. That's coming from someone with a slightly heavier car, so something you can kind of get used to. I'm really, really impressed with the refinement. I'm not, I'll be honest, not a Vauxhall kind of person. So all in all, a pretty nice drive. I know it's kind of like a short review. If you're looking for a type of car for 160 a month, I don't really know what you can get better. The used car market is really highly inflated prices at the moment, so actually going new, if you can get a car in this day and age, is actually kind of the way to go. But yeah, cars like this, particularly petrol powered cars, do put a big smile on my face. I think that's kind of the main thing. You've got to have an enjoyable car, and you don't want to be just saving money for the sake of saving money. Don't just save loads of money on your car if you're going to have like a horrible experience. A car which is just, not fun to drive. You're not necessarily proud of. not quick, not refined. You know, this for me, you know, it's really, really good, really, really good. And if we put a foot down a little bit in second. And what I like the most is I like how it masks its speed, because it keeps the refinement levels up. And again, you get a lot like sound symposers sometimes in cars, because petrol powered cars are now really, really quiet. You know, you look at like electric cars, petrol powered cars got so refined. And I'm really, really impressed by this one, really, really impressed. We'll quickly go back on that road just to enjoy it one last time. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you kind of, well, what you kind of think, if you've got a car like this. Handles really nicely, and I love a low weight car because it's just, you can literally just fling it around. And then when you're going through twisty, tight, turny bits and you don't want to be in a huge car, you've got a tiny little car which, yeah, can just nip around everything just as quick as anything else. Now this is a really, really bumpy section of road, so if it can survive this, it can literally survive anything. Is the power enough? I'd probably say so. I think if you have too much, I mean, it's a gorgeous sunny day today, you'd probably be wheel spinning quite a bit. The only thing for me, I guess the clutch pedal, my shoes, I'm wearing quite wide shoes, so I'm finding it a little bit different to get used to on that side. Yeah, if we take it up this fun road, now that we've got a little bit less traffic, yeah, it's really, really good. I'm really, really impressed. I think we're going to probably end it there. Well, listen, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed sort of like some of the B-roll and bits of the car. You know, I think it's a really decent spec for what you're getting. I know prices are slightly different today than what they were when this car was purchased, which would have been last year. But for the money that this owner paid for, I think it's an absolute bargain. And even for like a second car, it works. But actually as a main car, I think that's what impresses me the most. Don't think that it's too small, it can't carry stuff. You know, this car can fit a lot of stuff in there, you know. That's another thing that's impressive. And yeah, I think it's really, really cool. But listen, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this sort of like different type of review, different type of drive. Again, big thanks to the owner for giving me the chance to kind of drive it. And yeah, I hope it's given you a little bit of an insight on the Vauxhall Corsa, the new one. And yeah, in this sort of low powered petrol guised car, but doesn't really weigh that much. So suddenly 100 horsepower is plenty. But yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers guys.